Hello everyone, my name is Steven with a V, or Vfin as some of you like to call me, and welcome to Storytime. Today we're going to be reading some I Don't Work Here Lady stories, tales of some of the most awkward, frustrating, or otherwise inconvenient exchanges one could have. And let me just say, if you're not already subscribed to Storytime, please consider doing so. But with that being said, let's sit back, relax, and listen to some captivating Reddit stories. Apparently, the old lady I always help in the grocery store thought I worked there. I do my shopping the exact same time every week in a large grocery store. There is a little old woman who usually does her shopping at around the same time. She has some mobility issues and doesn't buy much, so after a few times of seeing her having to flag down help every time she wanted something from a shelf above shoulder level, I approached her and asked if she'd like a shopping companion. It took me under 10 minutes to get everything on her list, and she was very gracious and grateful. Even offered me a few dollars, which I didn't accept, of course. I didn't give this a second thought. I wasn't raised to question whether you would take 10 minutes to help an old woman in the grocery store or not. It's just what you do. So next week when I saw her again, I asked if she'd like someone to shop with her, and she was again very grateful for the help. It became our usual routine that whenever I spotted her, usually every other week or two, I'd give her a hand. One week, I didn't do my shopping at the usual time. I worked a little late, and when I came in, there was a big fuss at the customer service desk involving my shopping friend and a young man. I started to go over to be sure everything was alright and hear the young man saying, "What do you mean no one with that name works here? She had a name tag on. My mom saw the name, right, Ma?" And she says she did. And the flummoxed customer service kid is saying he really doesn't have anyone by that name who works there. The young man is going, "What do you mean? Did you fire her? She was here last week, right, Ma?" And I realize it's my name and the potential source of confusion. I go in for shopping immediately after work, and my work uniform is a maroon shirt and khaki pants with a name tag. The grocery store I shop at has white shirts, any kind of pants you want, and a maroon apron with the store's logo. So a little similar. I go over and she gleefully cries, "There you are, I want you to meet my son." And he started telling me how grateful he is I was taking time out of my work to personally help his mom shop, and now that he's in town he wanted to say thanks in person and give me some money, or at least put in a good word with my manager at the store. So could I point them out so he could speak with them? I explained the confusion and they were both so touched. It was one of the most poignant moments of my life, and definitely the most meaningful I've ever had in a supermarket. Aw, what a nice story. And I really like the fact that the older lady's son was coming to the store personally to thank them and try to offer them some money or put in a good word. This story just has good feels on both sides all around, which is a great way to start this story time off. Contractor Valet, full service. Before we start, if you'd like your own tales to tell, go put on some high visibility workwear. It's amazing. The what/who you can be mistaken for, and the look, it's a corporeal Google. Younger, stupider years ago, somewhere in Australia. This tale starts about 8:15 a.m. one Tuesday morning. I know because that was the time on his dashboard clock. A couple of minutes prior, I had been hit in the face by a weighty bunch of keys. Car keys, house keys, postbox keys, assortment of small, sharp, hurdy keys. Our team was putting up electrical signage at a business across the road from a meeting venue. The venue's front entrance was a good vantage point to see how the signage looked, so I went over near the front doors in the shade. I'd seen cars going past and parking in the venue's car park for the 40 minutes leading up to 8 a.m. The posters outside indicated a session 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tail time. Around 8:15 a.m., a silver Lexus pulls up, blocking the porte cogère, French for if there was a valet, this is where they'd be standing. 30-something key man gets out, shuts the door, and starts jogging to the venue's doors. On his way past me, he does the flick right out of the movies. Both the keys and my favorite tinted safety glasses are now on the ground. I look at them, then the doors, to see them closing. No sign of the failed stealth class ninja. Pick up and heft them for a sec, then go open the passenger door to get this guy's name off his registration papers. I'm thinking I'll give the keys to venue's reception with his name and let them deal. This is where I see that his address is 5 minutes up the road from the supplier I still had to go to this morning. Dear eagle-eyed safety, insurance, litigation, police people, Rest assured, I knew that afternoon and the weeks after that it was a stupid thing to do. My boss had me on trench digging duties after I told him. All because of the next 5 words. I drove his car home. To his home. I wasn't that stupid. I called an apprentice and gave the address to pick me up. After parking and locking his car on the front lawn because my glasses were scratched, I had time before the apprentice showed up to put all his failed implements of death through his door mail slot, one by one. Round 12 p.m., I stood myself at my fancy French valet, also French, station, and waited. The key man said loudly in a hurry while poking me in the back, "Grab my car, will you, mate? I'm in a hurry." I'm just looking at all the people walking to the car park. He pokes me again. Keyman getting a bit crappy they are, and his pokey finger, "I'm in a hurry, come on." Me as I turn to him, "It's not here, mate. Did you think I was a valet?" I take off the hard hat I've worn the whole day and show it to him. It has stickers. Confusion face for a sec, as he checks out my sweet stickers, then looking up at me. Keyman puzzled but figuring it out, "Where is it?" Me, just a matter of fact, "I took it to your place and put the keys through the door." Keys in the face isn't nice, mate. Don't do that. I see him patting his pockets. I walk away putting my hard hat back on, saying over my shoulder, "Your phone's in the car, mate." Finn. More French. Yeah, so that guy definitely shouldn't have assumed that it was some valet service. That being said, it is a little bit over the top to take this guy's car home. I probably would have agreed more with his original strategy of just giving it to the reception, but, sometimes you gotta get a little bit of fun revenge. It didn't harm anybody, obviously. I'm sure he drove it there as safely as possible. And in the end, besides some scratched glasses, it seems like everybody left relatively unharmed. So, no harm, no foul. Honest mistake, couldn't resist. I'm at Trader Joe's wandering amongst the aisles deciding how much money I want to part with when a lady walks up and asks me where the bathroom is. "I don't know, somewhere in the back, I guess," I reply. "Could you please be a little more helpful than that?" It is about this time I realize my Hawaiian shirt is pretty much on point for an employee uniform and I can't resist the urge for a little fun. "I'm sorry. What you're going to want to do is head up that aisle there, out the front doors, take a right at the parking lot and follow the wall to behind the dumpster. Knock first because there's a big raccoon that hogs the can." Her mouth hung open for a second, moving but no words emitted from her bewildered noise hole. At this point I take pity on her as I don't want her peeing herself or going out back and getting hit by a raccoon. "I'm just kidding, lady. I have no idea. I don't actually work here. I dress this way by choice." She utters a low, awkward chuckle and shuffles off to the next dapperly dressed person. Short, sweet, and straight to the punchline. This is a great little story here, and I can imagine this lady would be absolutely bewildered. Just imagine the situation where you walk up to what you think is completely a legitimate employee, asking them where the restroom is, and they start talking about going outside to the dumpster but knocking because there's a giant raccoon. Just a nice little story here. "Oh, you're a personal shopper? Shop for me." Backstory. This happened a few hours ago. I was out with my mom for the afternoon. She has an arm injury from an accident and I often help her out when I can. Today, I wore a Selena shirt. Selena was a Mexican-American singer who was super popular in the 90s but was killed in 1995 for those who don't know who she was. And black leggings. The Walmart employees wore a store polo with the logo on it and khaki pants or shorts. So yeah, I wore nothing like the actual employees and I am not a personal shopper. This happened right after we had a late lunch at a semi-nice restaurant. After we ate, we decided to head over to Walmart to get a couple of items. Like I said, my mom has an arm injury for an accident and I was in the store with her helping her reach for items that she couldn't reach. We're in the store for a few moments, my mom sends me off to find some Coke, I go into the soda part of the store. I am reaching for the soda when I felt a tap on my shoulder. I grab the Coke and turn around thinking I'm in someone's way and, well, I kind of was. The lady, not really a Karen, pointed to the Coke. Her arms were pretty full. Why she didn't have a card was beyond me. "Can you please get that Coke for me?" Me, being ever polite. "Yeah, sure, your arms look pretty full. Do you need a card?" "I was kind of hoping you could help me. I saw you help that woman." Oh, that's my mom. I came in to help her. She has an arm injury and I was just helping her get a few things before I go home myself. But you helped her. I just gave her a look like, what are you talking about? I mean, yeah, she's my mom. I kind of have to help her. So you're a personal shopper for her? Me laughing at that statement, since it was kind of true. I often stop and get things for my mom since my mom doesn't drive and my dad works late, and I live nearby. Well, you got that part right. I'm sorry I can't help you right now. I have to get back to my mom. Well, can you get the rest of my items from my list? I shake my head. Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but I have to get back to my mom. I leave quickly and I get back to my mother and I tell her about the wild Karen encounter. My mom said I did the best I could. So we get to check out and behold, Karen is behind us. She proceeds to tap my mother on the shoulder. My mom turns around and sees the Karen I was talking about. Hi, yes, does she work for you? Yes, she has for 22 years. We have this ongoing joke that I was the maid in the family. Karen looks at me agape. It was like she was trying to process what my mom said. But she can't be that old. Nope, she's been 22. Been 22 since May. She's also my daughter and we just stopped here to get a few things. But she helped me. Well, that's how I raised her. I'm happy she helped you, but we really need to get going. We check out and we wave to the Karen, still looking very confused. I'm sorry if there wasn't a dramatic ending, but at least no one died. At least no one died indeed. I don't know what was going on with this lady, but she couldn't seem to get it through her skull that it was a child helping her parent and not some worker. I don't know what the error in translation here was, but somebody was just not on the same page. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all for listening and watching the Storytime channel. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and leave any feedback you can in the comments below as I continue to work on developing and delivering these stories for you lovely people. Thank you all again for watching and listening to the Storytime channel.